Is it spring yet? What's up, ghosts and witches? Welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm your host, John Maffio, and today's featured movie is the 5th movie in the Paranormal What? Oh, it's not the 5th movie? The spinoff, Marked Ones. This horror flick from the Paranormal Activity franchise does not particularly and relatively choose from the bloodline of the Katie and Mika family. Instead, we are moved to a Mexican-American deprived poor neighborhood in California, and our main character, Jesse, just graduated from high school, and when his valedictorian buddy starts acting weird and his neighbor in his apartment complex starts doing some weird things, paranormal activities ensue. So, I have so far reviewed the 3rd and 4th entries in this franchise. The other two I saw in theaters. The first one I really enjoyed in theaters. It was a great experience. The 3rd one I liked too. The 4th one sucked. This one's a spinoff, and it's pointless. It's unnecessary. It's not a really bad movie for what it's trying to do. It's Paranormal Activity. We know what to expect from this franchise now, and you think they would try to do something fresh, and they do in ways, which I'll get into later, but for the most part, it's the same old jazz with the same old beat. Nothing new is brought to the table for the most part, but let's get more in-depth with Paranormal Activity Marked Ones. There were concepts and aspects that I did enjoy about this movie. One in particular was the idea of this movie taking place in a deprived area, a very deprived area, whereas the other 4 movies, in comparison, took place in wealthy, Caucasian, suburban neighborhoods, which, you know what, isn't so relatable. Oh, look, I'm a rich white girl, hee! At least we know now that these ghosts and demons don't just bother rich people. And I also like the idea of this coven, this band of witches. Even though this franchise only started with demons, it's now moved into that territory, because I guess witches are popular now. Again, everything is the same for the most part. The characters are the same, the structure is the same, the filming is the same, it's all done through handheld camera work, and they try to give you a reason why they're using the camera at first, and then they just, they ignore it after a while. Which is, I know, I'm not bothered by it at this point. It's a little bit difficult to actually critique the movie because there's no reason to critique it at all because it's unnecessary entirely. The whole thing is just building up to make little ideas that are a little bit creative to keep the franchise going for years and years to come, and it's getting a little stale at this point. There is an abundance of jump scares, and that's to be expected. Some of them work, some of them don't. The movie's also incompetently and lazily edited, or should I say written too, because when something interesting is happening on screen, when something cool is happening on screen, it cuts away. You're supposed to assume that they resolved the issue while it blacked out and cut to another scene, which is lazy. I will admit though, these movies are still fun for their last 20-30 minutes, because they do things that are kind of creative still, and a little bit scary, and I got a little startled at the end. But this movie self-sabotages the whole franchise within the last 5 minutes. The direction Marked Ones takes in the last 5 to 10 minutes is preposterous, in my opinion. It's a neat idea to try to connect this movie with the previous movies, but what happens in this one is so... there's no build-up to this twist that happens, so I don't understand what it's leading up to for maybe the 5th movie coming out in October, or if it's leading up to anything at all. If it's not leading up to anything at all that's going to be satisfying, then fuck this whole franchise. Because either one, they have a cool story with the Coven and they're trying to lead into something that's going to be really awesome eventually, or the studio is just trying to hook the audience for the next movie to keep them interested and not actually lead anywhere. It's like teasing a baby with candy, but never giving that baby the candy at all. I don't know anymore, guys, honestly. Paranormal Activity Marked Ones is an entry in this franchise. It's not interesting, it's not different, except for the fact that it takes place in a poor neighborhood, which is kind of cool, in my opinion. It's a nuisance. It's a 1 out of 5 stars. Those witches, though, I gotta say, they are terrifying. They really... But I want to know from all of you guys, personally, are you looking forward to this movie? Are you looking forward to seeing Paranormal Activity cock tease, or are you ignoring this franchise from here on out? Comment below and let me know what you thought about it. If you have seen it, Godspeed. Also, subscribe to my channel, MaffmanJones, and like the video so you'll never miss a review from me again. Check out my Facebook, my Twitter, and Wheel of Film accounts down there. I'm John Maffio, aka MaffmanJones, and we got 1 week down in January. And we also got February. And hopefully March things pick up. Hopefully. Please! God help us! See you next time.